Hi there. I'm finding that a lot of people are coming to me for help, and when I ask what they'd like help with, they're saying, improving my life. And that means something different to every single person who asks for my help. So they might want help because they're struggling, making friends, or they're having difficulty with their colleagues, or it might be that just everything feels like an uphill struggle. There could be so many things that they mean when they say they want to improve their lives and they want my help to do that. And what I love about what I learned and what I love to share with you is that actually it doesn't matter exactly what you mean, because I've found that this works whatever improvement you want. And even if we just concentrate on one little bit of our life, that important bit that we really feel wants fixing, what happens is all our life improves. And I know that to be true because my life was a bit of a mess, and it improved so much beyond a recognition when I discovered this. Not only does everything feel so much simpler, easier, more peaceful, not only can I always sort of stay rational and keep my cool, even when situations are quite rough, I can be aware of that, and obviously that does affect me, but it doesn't affect me to the extent where I can't think straight, or it really hurts, or whether I carry that, or that I carry that hurt around with me, maybe to other parts of my life. I'm still human, and I think that's really important that we do still feel. But I now know that I have a choice what to feel and when to feel. And that is really, really empowering. And once we know we have that choice, and once we can exercise that choice, then our life improves. Whatever the problem was that you came with. And how that worked for me was I suddenly saw thought for what it was. You know, thought's got an important role. Thought is there to protect us, not to make us happy, to protect us. So those thoughts about, don't cross the road now because that could be dangerous, they're really important. But those thoughts like, don't apply for that job because loads of people that are better are going to apply for it. Those thoughts like, don't go to that party because people are just going to think that you, aren't as good as them, or don't look as good as them, or aren't as witty as them, or whatever it is. You know, they're protecting us from feeling small, or from failing, or from being embarrassed. And those things feel like they're huge. And how amazing it is for me now that, if I mess something up, if I'm, if I make some sort of social faux pas, if I dress casually when it's a posh do, then that's kind of funny, I can choose. I can choose to be really embarrassed, to, sit in the loos all night, to go home, to not speak to anybody, to, keep my coat on, and be really miserable, and then maybe miserable about that for ages and ages afterwards, years afterwards. And then my subconscious is really going to be saying with the thoughts, oh, don't go to that party, don't apply for that job, don't go to that interview, don't put yourself out there because you might feel silly. And it's just going to be one more thing added to it. Or I can go, oh, well, okay, so I didn't choose to come here and say that thing that wasn't funny or do that thing that wasn't clever or whatever. But hey, come on. What's the worst that can happen? You know, I mean, we're still all here. I don't think the sky fell in. Because when we worry about things, it comes from a place of fear of the worst thing that could happen. And I took that fear away from me and from lots of my clients by saying, okay, well, what is actually the worst thing that can happen? How bad is that actually? Could you deal with it? And always, when you look at what that fear is, you go, well, actually, yeah, I could. It's incredibly unlikely that thing is going to happen. But if it did happen, I could do it. I could face it, and I would live to tell the tale, and I would live to tell the tale peacefully. And once you've faced that, once you've realised that, hang on, these great big demons, these unmentionable demons, these unnamed demons, these demons that I haven't even checked what they are because they're too scary demons, when I realised they're not actually such demons after all, they're just me maybe feeling silly, then I have nothing to fear. You know, you've heard the expression, there's nothing to fear but fear itself, and that is so true. And when we then can just decide not to worry about things in the future, and not to worry about things that happened before, and just be right here, right now, in this moment. Because in this moment, we're okay. In this moment. And we only ever have this moment. You know, everyone's saying it's so glib, you see it on memes everywhere, but it's true. You can only ever live in this moment. And yet, do not most of us live with that thing we did, that thing that happened to us, that awful situation, that, I don't know, that thing in our childhood or that thing. And we hold on to it, and we're keeping it alive. We're bringing it into our moment, and it isn't. It's nothing to do with our moment. It's gone. But we can choose to keep it. But listen, why would we? Why would we? Because somebody did something wrong to us, and we resent it, and we're angry, and we don't want to forgive them for that, and okay. But what's happening is it's affecting you. It's hurting your life. You can choose to let it go, I promise. And once we stop worrying about that thing in the future, planning for the future is great. Learning from the past is great, but worrying about things that are almost certainly not going to happen, and even if they did happen, we would face them so much better if we'd kept calm and rational than we've screwed ourselves into such this ball of neuroses and panic and anxiety and so once we live now, not then, but right now, in this moment, we're okay. And in this moment. And in this moment. And life is just a wonderful, long succession of this moment.